4th grade was a rough time for me. I was like insecure about a lot of things. So like one of the things I was insecure about, I've talked about this, but like Danielle had a really cool mom, and her mom was like, I don't know, like in the fashion industry or something like that. And I was like, well, my mom's, you know, an accountant, but I didn't want to tell people that because I was like, well, it's not a cool, glamorous job. So I told people that my mom worked at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. just completely lied. I was like, yeah, well, my mom works at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. And so then my teacher, Mr. Romero, of course, comes out with me, as I'm getting picked up. Oh God, it's so embarrassing. Comes out, and he comes out with me as my mom's picking me up from school, and he's like, hey, Mrs. Fu. And she's like, oh, hi, Mr. Romero. And he's like, I heard you work at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. And I was like, no, I didn't say that. I said we've been to the Monterey Bay Aquarium. And my mom's like, yeah, no. I mean, we've been to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, but I'm an accountant. Oh God. And then I was like, yeah, we just been there. That's it. Okay, well, we gotta go. And that was that. So super cringe. And then I also was like cutting my arm hair in that same year. So 4th grade was the rough year for me. I don't know what I was going through. But then I was like in the back left of the classroom. And I was cutting my arm hair off with a pair of scissors. And Mr. Romero, same teacher, goes, Leslie! And everyone snaps their head to face me. Are you cutting your arm hair off with scissors? And I was like, no. I got caught. Cause I don't know how to shave or anything. I was just like, and so I got caught by the whole class cutting my arm hair off with scissors. Yeah, dude, Mr. Romero is such an op. Like, think about how embarrassing that is for a little girl to go through. Think about it, okay? He put me through that. Dude, he did me like that. I know. I cannot with that. And then, got caught, and then the girl with the really hairy arms, okay, in the class, like very, very, very hairy, came up to me at recess afterwards and was like, well, my dad says it's good luck. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, so in 5th grade, I remember to take the class gecko home one time. Right. Oh, there was this interesting, 5th grade was interesting. It was like when I was really coming into like being like, I don't know, like I feel like 5th grade. Okay, in 4th grade, I had the, was it 4th grade? Or somewhere in 4th grade, close to then, was the realization that I was like a human being. Like, I had a moment where I realized that I was in control of myself. And I was like, wow, I am a person. Like, I was kind of operating on autopilot all the way up until like a moment in time, actually, which was weird. Hold on, how do I get there? I need to get there, because I need to hop onto that thing. I don't know if any of you guys had like an epiphany at a point in your life when you were young, where you were like, whoa, I'm in control of my body, and like this is who I am. Like, I don't know, is that weird? That's what happened to me when I was young. No, you. Sorry. Oh, okay, this doesn't count. That actually doesn't count as a thing. Oh my God, there's a person here. Okay, that doesn't count. That's insane. That's crazy. Yeah, it was like an awakening of my consciousness. You know? So I had an awakening of my consciousness.
Sometimes it's hard
to choose
the right path.
I'm going down.
But don't
Give
be
me
afraid.
the elevator.
You can always repeat. We learn from our mistakes.
Okay, this one. I had like this epiphany, right? So then, okay, so in 5th grade, I remember there's like this boy named Justin who really liked me, and I was kind of allergic to boys, very much so at this time. And the thought of like a guy liking me made me like give me the big ick. I was just like, oh God, like yeah. And he would always bring me these things called white rabbits to school, and like he'd bring a whole like lunchbox of them. And I was just like, ew. Like, why? You know, I didn't like him like that or anything. So it was really mean. I made an I Hate Justin
it's
club.
Hard to choose the right path,
I was like really
but don't
evil.
Be afraid. You can always repeat.
I just like couldn't stand it. I was like, stop giving me things. And he like really liked me. I actually literally made a I Hate Justin club, and I wouldn't be friends with anyone who was nice to him. It was awful. I talked to him later in college because we had a mutual friend. So I remember this. Oh God, I have horrible memories. So I made this club. I really didn't like him. And I was like, if my friends talk to him, I was like, if you talk to him, then like I don't like you either. Okay. And so Justin was really sad, and I remember Justin had written like this whole letter in my yearbook, and I whited the whole thing out because I was so mad. But he also kind of like, I remember he like low-key, him and like two other guys they like poked a lot of fun at me at the same time. So he liked me, but then I also remember him and his friends calling me like Leslie the lesbian. And I was like, what does that even mean? I didn't know what lesbian meant back then. They're like, Leslie's a lesbian. Leslie's a lesbian. And I was like, what? And I remember crying because I didn't know what it meant, but I could tell that my teacher, Mr. Nick, was like, you stop that. You know, like you're there. They were getting in a lot of trouble for saying it, which made me realize like it must have been mean. So I remember, I have this vivid memory of being at extended care. Vivid. I was at extended care, and then how do I get here? Wait. Okay, yeah, this is right. So I was sobbing, like I was like hands in my head in my hands, just like tears, just like, you know, soaking my table. And I was just like, they were kind of laughing at me. Mr. Nick was yelling at them, and I was sobbing. And then I took the yearbook that Justin had written like the nice thing in, and I was like whiting it out aggressively so he would see it because I was so mad at him. And then I remember after that he got really sad, and he was like really sorry. We had this whole turbulent like back and forth because I liked him as a friend, and then he liked me, brought me too much stuff. Then I got really aggressive. I stopped, and I was like, ew, go away. I hate you, Justin. And I don't know at what point in the timeline I made the I Hate Justin club. I just know I did it, and it might have been post the Leslie the lesbian stuff, or might have been pre-Leslie the lesbian stuff, which might have made him call me that. I don't even know. Either anyway, we kind of, I don't remember how it ended. We kind of all just forgot about it, made up. But the funny thing is that like I went to high school later, and Justin became like the class president of his high school, which was in my district, and I was friends with the class president of our district. And Justin did some like really cool stuff. He got like Far East Movement at his school to perform at their prom. It was like a big deal because Far East Movement was like you know, like a G6 and stuff. They were at their peak, like popping off on the radio. And there was a competition to see, can you get Far East Movement to like perform at your prom? Like they were going to perform at one school's prom, and he like led the whole movement to get it for his school, and he got it. And it was so cool because like it was like when that song came out, they were like, you know, peak popularity. And I remember I was like, whoa, like I know Justin. I was like, I remember that guy. Anyways, like my friend Danny, or like our class president, talked to me about it, or was like, somehow it came up, and he's like, yeah, my friend Justin, like he ran that whole thing. And I was like, wait, Justin? I was like the Justin I know, and I don't want to like, you know, dox him, but then Danny connected us. And basically I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. He's like, no, man, like, hey, it happens. We were kids, and, you know, we weren't great to each other. I was like, yeah, it was a bad time because we kind of just like left. I don't really remember the resolution of that. But 5th grade was like toxic for me. Like it was really bad, 5th grade. And I remember it was 6th grade was horrible too. It was a bad time. 6th grade, there was tons of drama. Like I bullied kids, they bullied me. We would make like hate zangas about each other. Like this girl named Brenda made up rumors about everyone in class, including me, and like all the kids. She wrote on her zanga just like the most ridiculous things, like kind of like vile things, like so like completely like rumors that if they were true, like kind of like in Mean Girls, like the burn book, like that kind of stuff, but like not as like sexual, but it was like really effed up stuff, like just completely like so-and-so is pregnant with this person's kid. And we're literally like, I don't know, how old are you in 6th grade? 10, 11, like just horrible rumors. And Brenda got caught, and that Zanga got linked to the school principal. And I remember walking in the halls, and I peeked into the classroom, and it was like Brenda and her mom and her and her dad and like all of the staff of the school. And I was like, oh my God, like she's in actual trouble. Like she's gonna get expelled. She didn't get expelled, but what happened is that like she got like suspended or something, and then I don't know if she got suspended. She got put on some sort of probation. It was Mean Girls. Like my 6th grade and 5th grade was like actual Mean Girls. And then what happened was, and this was also the time when I was stepping on bees and putting them in girls' lockers. Like I was no better. I was a psychopath, man. I would literally step on bees with my friend Nicole, put them in little plastic bags, and like oh God, it was awful. This was the same year. It was all at private school when I was at Challenger, man. Ooh. So then, yeah, so what happened was Brenda got like exiled from the 6th grade girls, which were us. We're like, we're not talking to her because she wrote all this stuff. And then the 7th graders took her in, and then she became like popular. Because, you know, 7th graders are cooler than 6th graders. 8th graders are cooler than 7th graders. So the 7th graders, like, started being friends with her. And I remember being like, what? Why? It's supposed to be, yeah, that was my B era. Is this when you had bangs? No, this was prior to the bangs. So the 6th grade, when I had the bangs, oh God, when I had the bangs, I want to die. This is crazy. No way. Cart. Oh my God, take me. Okay. When I had the bangs, let me think. I was in high school. That was like sophomore year of high school. I was singing, yeah, high school. So I'm talking, this is in 6th grade, 5th grade. So 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 4 years before the bangs. 4 years, baby, okay? Before bangs. So that was that. It was really bad. Stepped on a lot of bees, killed them. It was horrible. And then Brenda, that stuff. And then there was this guy named Samuk who, like, I had this whole thing with, like, I liked him, but then when he started to like me, the allergic reaction kicked in, and then I was, like, really mean to him because I couldn't handle, like, liking guys and guys liking me. It was, like, weird. It was, like, the whole cooties thing was, like, you know. So Samuk and I, like, he really liked me. I, of course, the allergic reaction kicked in. I liked this guy named Andrew. Okay, so there's, like, this trio. It was, like, Andrew, David, and Samuk, and they were, like, the cool kids in middle school. They were all, like, pretty popular. I wasn't, like, I was kind of popular in I would say I was, like, one of the, you know, how do you describe, like, I was a popular kid in our class of, like, 25. So there was like, popular, there was, like, 6 of us, 7 of us, okay? And this was, like, me, Brenda, Nicole, Jen, and then there was Andrew, David, and Samuk. So Samuk liked me. Everyone liked each other, okay? Andrew liked, my best friend, oh God. So my best friend's name was Jennifer, and she was so pretty, okay? We had best friend necklaces, and I remember, like, I liked, the guy I liked her, and it just, I was like, oh, my poor soul. I was like, oh, you know, cause and I, you know, I just was like, FF, cause, you know, I'm never, you know, but then Samuk liked me, and then that made me have, like, this allergic reaction. But then, like, when he stopped liking me, I was like, well, maybe I do like him. And then I was like, and then David came in. He's like, well, I like it. I forgot. It was like a billion love triangles going on. Everyone, like, took turns liking each other, right? But all I know is that on the last day I decided to leave, I'm going to cry. This is ridiculous. Okay. I need to be better about that part. I need to actually focus. That's crazy. I felt, oh God, not the beds. Okay. So, on the last day of middle school, I've talked about this, how Jen called me. Basically, I was fighting with her. And it was my last day. I was going to public school, and they were all staying in private school. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go. and I was kind of fighting with everybody. Like I was not on good terms. Samuk still like liked me a lot. It was free dress day. Jen calls me, and I thought she wanted to make up before the last day of school and that we'd be friends again. She calls me and she's like, "Hey Leslie, you know the PacSun shirts, the matching ones we have?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm just calling so you don't wear it because I'm gonna wear it." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Okay, I won't wear it." And then we like just ended the call. I was just like super beta about this. So I was just like, okay. I was really sad because I wanted her to, how do I remember this? I just do. I don't know. These are like my flashbulb memories, like, because I guess they're so emotionally charged. So I remember all, like, just certain things from each grade. And she told me not to wear the PacSun shirt. I remember exactly what it looked like. It was like a dark green. It had 2 little tigers on it. Anyway, so I didn't wear it. Anyways, I went to the last day of school, and we had those dunk tanks. Does anyone remember this? Like we would set up our school like a little fair, and you could go and sit on a thing, and then people would like shoot hoops, and it'd hit them, and if it hit, you like get dunked. A carnival. So that was like our last day of school. It was free dress day, and there was like dunk tanks and like random stuff like that. Field day kind of thing, yeah. So I remember the dunk tanks, and there was the dunk tanks and all that stuff. I didn't really have, like, I don't remember who I was hanging out with, but I remember I kind of just left without saying goodbye to anybody. I have a vivid memory of this as well, just like kind of closing the gates for the last time. And I remember I wore glasses and stuff, and I remember it was like, I was thinking like, this is my farewell to everybody. And I'm going to take off my glasses when I go to public school, and I'm going to be a whole new me. But I had glasses at the time. Oh, I've spam jumped there? Just spam jump? Okay, I'll do that. Okay. So then I find out, like, everyone's like, "Why did you leave without saying goodbye?" and all this stuff. And I was like, what? Like, you know, it's like, well, I thought you guys were mad at me, yada, yada, yada. And then people were like, "You broke Samuk's heart." I was like, what? And people were like, "Yeah, he's like heartbroken over you." And I do remember we had a lot of good moments. Like we would listen to Good Charlotte together. And I remember we'd listen, and I stole a CD player back in the day. Statute of limitations protects me, so I'm fine. But I did steal a CD player back in the day. And we would listen to, it was like a black and neon green one, and we would listen to the Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous album by Good Charlotte all the time. You do normal jumps in that part, don't sprint, just normal jumps? Okay. And we would listen, and I know that album really well. So one night, lifestyle of the rich and the famous, they're always complaining, if money, and it goes, "If you want me to stay, I will stay for," something fucking, I don't remember. Okay, anyway, so then I remember our favorite song was Riot Girl, track 6. And we would like share headphones and stuff. So we had like we were really good friends. Anyway, so I left and I went to middle school, and that was 7th grade. So then 7th grade was for some reason 7th grade and 8th grade were like the most traumatic years of my life. I had like a friend pretend, she literally lied and pretended she had a brain tumor. She lied to us, told us she had a brain tumor, and like took a bunch of pills. And I remember she wrote this on her journal, like that we would share with each other. It was like Zanga, and she would like talk about, like, she basically was a what was it? She was a, what do you call it when you cannot stop lying? She literally lied all the time to us, but like she so traumatic. Is this like a normal thing, bro? She's a pathological liar. She lied to us and like made us think that she like OD'd in 8th grade. And I remember calling my mom, telling my mom, like, I think Sarah like died. And I was like, wait, I think she died. We have to ask, like, call her mom and all this stuff. She wasn't picking up anything. And I remember we went to school, my cousin and like 3 of our friends went to school that day, just thinking that she was gone, like she was dead. And she was there. And then she was just like, she made up a reason why, oh, I went to the hospital and it was fine. They pumped my stomach, all this stuff. Never went to the hospital, we found out. She never took any pills. It was all made up. She literally made it up, wrote, just, bro. And then she moved to Canada. And that was like the most drama-filled year of my life. I remember just like being like, she just had, she was like really like intensely jealous like of friendships because I was like best friends with a girl named Shreya, who I had a lot of drama with, as you guys saw in my book where I read my journal last week to you guys about my turbulent relationship with Shreya. Well, Sarah was part of that whole situation. And Sarah, that journal came a little bit post Sarah, so I wasn't like journaling as much in 8th grade, but I remember all of 8th grade. Basically, me and Shreya like got closer. She would get really like jealous, and then she would like pull these stunts on us. So we would like pay a lot of attention to her and make sure she was okay and visit her and like always make sure she was doing okay because we didn't want her to kill herself or like we don't want her to die or whatever it was. We were like, oh my God, like we have to make sure Sarah feels good. And bro, I'm in 8th grade. I don't know how to handle this stuff. And then Sarah was just a liar the whole time, which was awful. So it was great. I just remember 8th grade was a horrible year. Like, it was just so turbulent because of this girl and my friendships with her. Okay, here we go. This is where I fell last time, I think. So, okay, so why did I pee in college in the bathroom? Not in the bathroom, in the sink. So, college, freshman year, applying to college from high school, I forgot to sign up for dorms because, I don't know, I just forgot the sign-up sheet. So, I had to find an apartment to live in, and I was really sad because, like, freshman, like, year, that's what your experience, like, I always just thought, like, the dorms is, like, that's, like, a core part of, like, when you go to university, if, like, not community college or whatever, dorming is, like, a huge thing. It's, like, I'm not gonna make any friends, so I was, like, thinking about not even going to, like, UCI anymore because I was just, like, so sad. So, I lived with this couple, okay? I'm 17, I'm going to college, and I get dropped off, and I live with this couple, and they were like 26, right? And I was like, oh God, like, they're old. And so then one day I come home from like, I was like probably, you know, I think I was like drunk. I was at some frat party in freshman year, okay? And I came back, and I needed to pee so bad, right? And we share a bathroom, so it's like my room and there's a bathroom connecting, and then it's their room. But I really did not want to wake up my roommates by flushing the toilet. Okay, that was my logic. It's like, I can't pee in the toilet because if I pee in the toilet, it's like 3 a.m. and they're gonna wake up. Okay, it's my logic. It's like 3 a.m. So I really didn't want to make any sound. I go to the sink and I decide that the best idea is to pee in the sink because I don't have to flush and the pee goes somewhere. So I literally get up on the sink and pee into the sink, and it was really quiet. And I rinsed it down, and I didn't have to flush. I know. I thought that it would be more like more considerate. My logic was that like I'm gonna wake my roommates up, and I really don't want to wake them up or like have them think I'm like out to like 3. Who cares, right? But in my mind is like, okay, if I flush this toilet, they're gonna wake up. They're gonna know that I'm awake, and they're gonna like wake up, and they're gonna hear the toilet. So, because it's literally like my room, bathroom, shared wall, their room. So, that's my pee in the sink when I'm 17 years old logic. This is where I fell. Nice, see, look. So I popped a squat over the sink, and that wasn't the first time I did that. I am very ashamed to say that I popped a squat in the sink that year, like 3 or 4 times. I don't know why. My logic was that I was being a good roommate and not waking them up. So that was bad.